Pushkar Singh Dhami to be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand will take oath of office as the 11th Chief Minister of the state today. BJP clinches victory in Uttar Pradesh Zilla Panchayat polls, bagged 65 seats out of 75. SP gets only 6. Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah congratulate UP Chief Minister and his team for the win in Zilla Panchayat polls. New cases of COVID-19 on a decline, 44,111 cases recorded in the past 24 hours. Total active cases go under 5 lakhs after 97 days. Recovery rate climbs to over 97%. Lightning triggers wildfires in British Columbia following a record-breaking heat wave. More than 135 wildfires are active across Western Canada. Aid and rescue are underway. And in sports, Denmark to lock horns with England for a place in the Euro Cup final. Italy to face Spain in another semi-final match. Good morning. You're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. Pushkar Singh Dhami on Saturday has been chosen as the next Chief Minister of Uttarakhand by the state BJP Legislative Party. Trivendra Singh Rawat resigned in March, making way for Tirath Singh Rawat, Lok Sabha MP from Pauri Garhwal, who resigned on Friday, thus making Pushkar Singh Dhami the third Chief Minister in 4 months. With elections to Uttarakhand Assembly elections due next year, Dhami will have an uphill task ahead of him.
Pushkar Singh Dhami will be the 11th Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. He will take oath on Sunday at 5 p.m. along with other ministers, and thus Uttarakhand will get third Chief Minister in 4 months. After Tirath Singh Rawat resigned on Friday night, a meeting of the BJP Legislature Party was held under chairmanship of Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar to decide the next Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, in which Tirath Singh Rawat and Madan Kaushik nominated Pushkar Singh Dhami, and Dhami's name was approved in the meeting. He was also elected the leader of Legislature Party. After the meeting, Pushkar Singh Dhami reached Raj Bhavan to meet Governor Baby Rani Maurya and presented his claim. Pushkar Singh Dhami, while talking to the media, said service of the people was his ultimate goal.
मेरी माँ जिन्होंने मुझे जन्म दिया है, उसी प्रकार से मेरी पार्टी है, जिन्होंने हमेशा मुझे एक बच्चे की तरह लगातार अपने आंचल में छांव देने का काम किया और आज प्रदेश के मुख्य सेवक के रूप में मुझे जिम्मेदारी दी है। मैं अपने आप को निश्चित रूप से सौभाग्यशाली मानता हूं।
BJP leaders also welcomed the decision and expressed hope that under Dhami's leadership, development would gain momentum in the state.
सर्वसम्मति से पुष्कर धामी जी को विधायक दल के नेता पद के लिए चुना गया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी विधायक दल के इस प्रस्ताव को लेकर हम लोग महामहिम राज्यपाल जी के पास गए और उनको आग्रह किया कि वो हमारे नए नेता को सरकार बनाने के लिए आमंत्रित करें।
स्वागत योग्य है और एक अच्छा कार्यकर्ता, कर्मठ कार्यकर्ता, मेहनती कार्यकर्ता इस काम में लगेगा और निश्चित रूप से उत्तराखंड की जनता को हम अच्छा से अच्छा डिलीवर करने में कामयाब होंगे।
बहुत ही अच्छा निर्णय लिया है, बहुत ही सभ्य हैं, डाउन टू अर्थ हैं, बहुत विनम्र हैं, ईमानदार व्यक्तित्व है।
Born in Pithoragarh, Dhami is a legislator from Khatima. His political journey began in 1990 when he spent a considerable amount of time at Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, BJP student wing. Dhami served as officer on special duty when Koshyari was the chief minister. From 2010 to 2012, Dhami worked in the Urban Development Monitoring Council under erstwhile IJP government. He is credited with pushing 70% reservation for local youth in industries and jobs in Uttarakhand. People in Khatima are elated on hearing the news of his nomination as Chief Minister. They celebrated by bursting crackers and distributing sweets. His mother and wife were also overjoyed.
अच्छा
हो रहा है, उसके पिताजी ने नहीं देखी है, उम्मीदें मत आती थी।
पार्टी संगठन ने, पार्टी हाईकमान ने उन्हें ये दायित्व सौंपा है और मैं ये भी कहना चाहूँगी जो भी इनको जिम्मेदारी मिली है उस जिम्मेदारी को बखूबी निभाते हुए अपनी जो भी जिम्मेदारियां हैं उनसे ऊपर उठ करके वो कार्य करेंगे।
आज हमारे सभी गांव वालों को बहुत ज़्यादा खुशी है कि हमारे बीच से इस सीमांत क्षेत्र से माननीय श्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी जी जो मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं।
बहुत ही खुशी की बात है, हमारे गांव से प्रधान मुख्यमंत्री बन गए।
Dhami is considered a grassroots leader. With elections to Uttarakhand Assembly due next year, keen administrative skills to develop the state amidst pandemic, winning the trust and confidence of senior leaders in the state and boosting the morale of party workers are some of the challenges that he will have to face. Bureau Report, DD India.
BJP has secured a landslide victory in polls for the post of Zilla Panchayat chairpersons in Uttar Pradesh, taking 67 out of 75 seats. These results are expected to give a boost to BJP workers ahead of Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections scheduled next year.
Ahead of assembly polls scheduled to be held next year in Uttar Pradesh, BJP has registered a landslide victory in polls for the post of Zilla Panchayat chairpersons in the state. BJP and allies bagged a total of 67 seats out of 75 seats. Voting for 53 seats of Zilla Panchayat chairpersons in Uttar Pradesh was held after BJP had won 21 seats unopposed. Union Minister and senior BJP leader Prakash Javadekar congratulated Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and party workers for this victory. With an unprecedented performance in Uttar Pradesh Panchayat elections, BJP has won 67 out of 75 seats of Zilla Panchayat chairpersons. Best wishes to BJP UP President Swatantra Dev Singh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and all the workers of Uttar Pradesh BJP for this stupendous victory. State BJP is upbeat and confident of a stellar show in assembly polls next year too.
75 में 67 सीटें उत्तर प्रदेश ने जीता है पंचायत के चुनाव ने। आदरणीय मोदी जी की लोकप्रियता, उनकी जन कल्याणकारी योजनाएं, आदरणीय योगी जी की लोकप्रियता, उनकी जन कल्याणकारी नीतियां, योजना जो है जिसके कारण हम लोग जीत मिली है और कार्यकर्ताओं के परिश्रम की पराकाष्ठा के कारण जीत मिली। आगे 2022 का भी चुनाव हम सब जीतेंगे कार्यकर्ताओं के दम पर और जनता के आशीर्वाद से।
What is more encouraging for BJP is the fact that BJP candidate Archana won from Mulayam Singh Yadav's traditional basin of Mainpuri. Besides, BJP candidates also won from Amethi and Raebareli. Rajesh Masala won from Amethi while Ranjana Chaudhary won from Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. Among BJP candidates who won the polls included Kishan Singh from Mathura, Roli Singh from Ayodhya, Harshita Singh from Firozabad, Khayali Ram Lodhi from Rampur, Girish Tiwari from Devariya, Rekha Hu from Hapur, Aarti Rawat from Lucknow and Seema Upadhyay from Hathras in Uttar Pradesh.
सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, पार्टी को धन्यवाद, हमारे भारतीय जनता पार्टी पूरे परिवार को धन्यवाद, आप लोगों को धन्यवाद। विकास करेंगे, जिले का सब कुछ सड़क बनाएंगे, सब कुछ करेंगे, आप लोगों से भी सुझाव लेंगे। 5 सीटें बस्ती जिले में है, 5 सीट जीतेंगी 2022 में।
These results will give a boost to BJP workers ahead of the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections scheduled next year. Bureau Report, DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Uttar Pradesh government and BJP workers for the victory in the polls. In a tweet, Prime Minister said, and I quote him, "The stupendous victory of BJP in Uttar Pradesh Zilla Panchayat elections is the blessings of the people for development, public service and upholding the rule of law. The credit goes to untiring hard work of Chief Minister Yogi Ji and party workers. Heartiest greetings to Uttar Pradesh government and BJP organization." BJP has said that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is being used as a pawn by rival defense companies. The party said that Rahul Gandhi and Congress keep on raking the allegations in the Rafale deal in an attempt to weaken India. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra also played down the related news and said that the development should not be seen as a matter of corruption.
कांग्रेस पार्टी आज झूठ और भ्रम का पर्यायवाची शब्द बन चुका है। राफेल को लेकर जिस प्रकार कांग्रेस पार्टी ने झूठ बोला है, जिस प्रकार से एक भ्रम फैलाने की कोशिश की है, वो हम सब ने देखा है। किसी ने कंप्लेन किया, एक एनजीओ ने कंप्लेन किया है, उस एनजीओ का नाम भी आपके सामने आया है, फ्रांसिस शेरपा ऐसा एक NGO का नाम है, उन्होंने राफेल को लेकर, वो पहले भी कंप्लेन करते रहे थे, कंप्लेन किया है, एक मैजिस्ट्रेट असाइन किया गया है। ये जो राफेल हम दसों एविएशन से लिया है हमने, जो कंपीटिंग कंपनीज होती हैं और जो कंपीटिंग बॉडीज होती हैं, कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा प्रतीत हो रहा है कि राहुल गांधी उनके हाथ के एक कठपुतली के रूप में एक्ट कर रहे हैं और आरंभ से ही भ्रम की राजनीति इसी कारण से कर रहे हैं। He has been lying right from the beginning because probably he is acting as an agent or some member of the Gandhi family is acting as agent for a competing company.
All right, let's get to some news on COVID management now. Covaxin is found to be 77.8% effective against COVID-19 as per the latest trial report. National Institute of Health has said that Covaxin is effective against all other variants apart from Delta. Meanwhile, 44,111 daily new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Active caseload declines to 4,95,000. This and more in the report ahead.
Indian vaccine manufacturing company Bharat Biotech has released the results of third and final phase trials of the COVID vaccine Covaxin. Based on the result, Covaxin has been found to be 77.8% effective against COVID-19. This vaccine is found to be 65.2% effective against the rapidly emerging Delta variant. Covaxin is found to be 93.4% effective against severe symptomatic COVID-19. This vaccine is found to be 63.6% effective against asymptomatic COVID-19 transmission. Overall, Covaxin has an efficacy of 77.8%, while it has 93.4% efficacy against severe symptomatic COVID-19 transmission.
COVAX, this is probably the largest clinical trial done in the developing world. Probably India is the third country in the world, next to US and UK. We are the third country in the world to do the largest clinical research on a COVAX in the world.
Earlier, the top US health body, the National Institute of Health, had said that Covaxin is effective against all variants apart from Delta. India's battle against COVID-19 pandemic will certainly get a boost after these results of Covaxin.
जब इस वैक्सीन को जनवरी में इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था, उस समय पूरी तरह रिजल्ट नहीं आए थे और एक ट्रायल मोड में इस सारी वैक्सीन को इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था और पिछले लगभग 5.5-6 महीने में जो यूज किया गया है, इसकी सेफ्टी में कोई सिग्नल नहीं आया है.
On the other hand, the fight against COVID-19 pandemic continues to swing in India's favor. 44,111 daily new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The active caseload has declined to 4,95,533, which is less than 5 lakh, and this figure has come after 97 days. 57,477 patients have recovered during the past 24 hours. The daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 51st consecutive day. Recovery rate has increased to 97.06% and the daily positivity rate is at 2.35% and has been less than 5% for 26 consecutive days. Testing capacity has substantially been ramped up with total of 41.64 crore tests conducted so far. India is moving rapidly on the vaccination front also. So far, 34.46 crore vaccine doses have been given. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh government has decided to give priority to second dose jabs as part of the mega vaccination drive. Earlier, Uttar Pradesh government has declared relaxation in lockdown restrictions in view of the decline in the number of cases. Keeping strict COVID-19 protocol in place, permission has been granted to open cinema halls, multiplex and stadia from Monday. However, weekend lockdown will continue. Meanwhile, the Delhi Disaster Management Authority has once again given permission to open the markets in Lakshmi Nagar and its surrounding areas from Saturday onwards in East Delhi. The main responsibility to treat the infection rests with the medical fraternity of the country, but the onus to follow COVID-appropriate behavior is primarily citizens' duty. If we are found to be lax in this aspect of the war against COVID-19, all the sacrifices made by the frontline warriors will prove to be ineffective. Therefore, when it becomes necessary, strict enforcement of COVID protocol is the bitter pill that many states will hesitantly swallow. The war is not over till it is won, and that is still some distance away for the entire humanity. Bureau Report, DD India.
Let's get to international updates now. American troops pulled out of their main military base in Afghanistan after 20 years in the country, amidst warnings from top military commanders that the country could descend into civil war without them. The full withdrawal of US troops from the country is not complete yet, but expected very soon. Nearly 2 decades after the first American troops arrived at Bagram and helped take control of the field after 9/11 attacks, the transfer of the field to the Afghan military symbolizes the transfer of Afghanistan's future and security to its own people.
Another chapter in the tumultuous history of almost 4 decades in Afghanistan. Almost 20 years after the US forces invaded the landlocked nation to oust the Taliban regime, the US troops are withdrawing from Afghanistan, leaving without any decisive victory. American troops pulled out of their main military base in Afghanistan on Friday under an agreement with the Taliban allowing for the withdrawal of all US forces from the country. Though a few more troops have yet to withdraw from another base in the capital Kabul in the coming days, the Bagram pullout brings an effective end to the longest war in American history. US effectively acknowledges that the coming days will be a litmus test for the Ghani regime,
reflecting a smaller US force presence in Afghanistan. That presence will remain focused on 4 things over the course of the coming period. 1, protecting our diplomatic presence in the country. 2, supporting security requirements at Hamid Karzai International Airport. 3, continued advice and assistance to Afghan national defense and security forces as appropriate. And 4, supporting our counterterrorism efforts.
After the last American troop left Bagram airfield, which served as the main US military base in the country, US President Joe Biden said the troops' departure is on track, but some American forces will still be in Afghanistan in September as part of a rational drawdown with allies. The US is clear that the Afghans will have to fight for themselves and can't depend on the US boots on the ground.
Look, we're in that war for 20 years. 20 years. And I think I met with the Afghan government here in the White House, in the Oval. I think they have the capacity to be able to sustain the government. There's going to have to be, down the road, more negotiations, I suspect. But I am concerned that they deal with the internal issues that they have to be able to generate the kind of support they need nationwide to maintain the government.
Fighting has worsened around Afghanistan, especially in the north, where Taliban insurgents have conducted a wave of offensives in recent days, moving beyond their southern strongholds. Commander of Foreign Forces in Afghanistan and US Army General Scott Miller said that the Afghanistan people want a political settlement that brings peace to Afghanistan. India also supports all peace initiatives as a long-term commitment towards development and reconstruction of Afghanistan.
We support all peace initiatives and have been engaged with various stakeholders. As regards the security situation in Afghanistan, we are obviously concerned by the increased violence there, based on which we have issued a security advisory for Indian nationals in Afghanistan.
Kabul residents welcomed the withdrawal without expressing concern about the current situation in the country and hope for peace. Russia is apprehensive with Islamic State militants building up their forces in northern Afghanistan as US and NATO troops leave the country. Because in the conditions of the irresponsible behavior of some officials in Kabul, in the conditions of the rash withdrawal of NATO troops from Afghanistan, which has left not a single possibility to report on the completion of at least some tasks, under these conditions, ISIS is actively developing territories, primarily in the north of Afghanistan, right on the border with countries that are our allies. Afghans clearly see the bleak side of tomorrow. Afghan leader Abdullah Abdullah feared that the country's survival was in danger, with wars and conflicts approaching the capital.
With the withdrawal of international troops from Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan has intensified greatly. The withdrawal of these forces has naturally left gaps in some places, and unfortunately, the Taliban has taken advantage of this opportunity.
More civilians have stood up against the Taliban in support of the government forces, as Taliban continues to escalate and intensify clashes, taking advantage of troops' withdrawal.
Since 1979, approximately for the last 42 years, Afghanistan has witnessed relentless war and unabated violence. While many countries find exit challenging, the US is no different. It may have won many battles in Afghanistan, but it did not win this one. And while for the people of Afghanistan, the war still seems far from being over. With camera person RB Singh, this is Meghna Dev for DD India.
Israel's military said that its aircraft that was launched as retaliatory airstrikes in the Gaza Strip has shot a suspected Palestinian assailant. Meanwhile, the Palestinian officials also confirmed that the 20-year-old Mohammed Hassan has been killed after being shot by Israeli military. In Gaza, Israeli jets struck a weapon manufacturing facility and a rocket launcher in response to the balloons sent from the Palestinian enclave into Israel. Since a May 21st ceasefire ended 11 days of fierce Israel-Hamas fighting, Palestinians in Gaza have sporadically launched balloons laden with incendiary material across the border, causing fires that have burned fields in Israel. And now we get to temperatures across major cities of the country. That's it in this edition of the News Sir. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.
Your window.